Hey, it's Bob Simon taking a break to tell you about CallRail. CallRail is a product that my firm uses, and what CallRail does is it plugs into your phone calls with your intake and with your clients to record those phone calls as real-time transcripts so you can get intelligence, and with the Attorney Share plugin, you can actually, in real time, be able to send a referral out through the marketplace to find the best match, all made possible with CallRail being plugged into your firm's intake with real intelligence. CallRail.
Hi, and welcome to the Justice Team podcast on the Justice Team Network. I am guest host Mikaela Dixon today, and we have an incredible guest, Megan Valles.
Hello.
Hi. If you could just introduce yourself a little bit and tell us what you do, who you are, where you work.
I am Megan Valles. I work for the Drake Law Firm as a trial attorney, and I very much enjoy what I do. Thank you for having me.
Of course. We're so excited to have you. I have had the privilege of just getting to know you a little bit, and I feel like the word that truly stands out with you is resilience.
That's so funny because I just got a tattoo of resilience on my side.
Shut up.
Yes.
Wait, shut up.
I swear to God.
So I literally like from the second we started talking, it just you exude that. And I think that there's so much strength in that. And I kind of want this episode to be you talking about your life experience and how that makes you the attorney that you are. And that is a very big, it's a very big umbrella.
Where do I start?
You're so go. I think just so often attorneys are a little bit afraid to just be human beings.
Yeah.
And just in the conversations I've had with you and what I've gotten to see out of the kind of advocate that you are is that you pull from your lived experience to be able to show up for your clients.
Absolutely.
And so maybe if you wouldn't mind talking about kind of your journey to law and what really got you interested in it so that we can kind of start going deeper into that.
Absolutely. I mean, aside from the cheesy TV shows, the Law and Order, the CSI.
For sure.
Obviously, that's what started my interest in law. And then it wasn't until I got into my first car accident, I would think I was 19 years old. And I was like, I've never had to hire an attorney for anything. I don't even know what I would need one for. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to one of my college girlfriends and I said, hey, I need somebody who can help me. And she was working for this attorney at the time. And she said, come in. It was 7:00 on a Friday evening or something that. And I got signed up. I asked all the questions that I need. And I ended up working for that attorney after my car accident. Yeah. All throughout law school.
Oh my God, what a full circle.
Yeah, completely.
I think that that's something that we forget as attorneys a lot of the time is our clients, their very first experience with an attorney is likely the one that they're having right then and there.
Correct.
And so I think you have an incredible perspective of what it's like to be an advocate and what it's like to be a client. Yeah. And so how does that interact with your ability to advocate for your clients?
Absolutely. Just how you said, this is probably the only experience and interaction they've ever needed to hire an attorney for. So by me letting them know, look, I've been in your position before, not once, but twice. I know what it's like to have your life completely derailed, put on pause for, however, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it may be. But just to let them know that this is temporary. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. What can we do to get you, set goals? Some of my clients were Division I soccer athletes. They were, very active in whatever their sport hobby was. And the fact that they can't do that anymore, to see the decline on their mental health because they can't do that, I'm like, look, let's get you there. If you can kick a ball or just stand up and be on a soccer field in the next 6 months, we'll take it. These little baby steps, you'll get there. Let's set goals. And then when they see the end of their case and the result and, they're able to slowly get back into it, that's what makes me the happiest.
I could literally feel it from you.
We're not going to cry.
It's a safe space. I feel like that's something that I was going to ask, and I think you kind of touched on it, of do you tell them that you have been in their shoes before?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I feel like this is something that someone had told me in the past. I had been questioned because I've been through things and I'm open about it. And I think that because I have been through something, I have a different perspective and a different passion of how you can show up for someone. And someone asked, do you think you're too close to it to be able to do that? And I like told you this example already, but it's like telling a woman like, oh, because you're a woman, like you can't really be a feminist, like you're too close to it. It's like, no, like that's exactly why I'm in this position, is because I want to.
They hire us as personal injury attorneys to look for guidance. Like, they're relying on us to navigate them through this entire process. And I basically let them know, look, I work for you. What can I do to make this easier for you? Let me know what you need. We'll get through this together. Like, you have my personal cell phone number. Call me on the weekends. I want to know how your kids are doing. I want to know how your family's doing. Like, give me these life updates so they know that you're okay.
Yeah. And I think something that like is important is we are human beings, right?
Yeah.
And we are attorneys. And I think that you do yourself a disservice when you only look at your client as a client.
Right.
Because they're a human being too. Yeah. And it's like the more you know about their family, the more you know about their day-to-day, the better position that you are in to be able to advocate for them.
Exactly.
Because it might not have been something that came up in a routine kind of like intake question or the discovery things where it's like, yeah, but like what's it like interacting with your kids and things where it's like you're a human being interacting with your family. Like I want to know those things. And even if you're talking more casually, it's not like a discovery call. You're just like checking in, like seeing how you're doing. The more vulnerable they're able to be with you, the better advocate you can be for them.
I wouldn't be able to tell their story at trial if I didn't know about their family, their kids, their upbringing, all of that.
Yes. Yes. And I think too, it's like nice when they know that their attorney is a human.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes people shy away from that, or it's like, no, I need to exude this strength. I need to exude like I am impervious. Like I'm here, I'm an attorney. And it's like, but you're also a human being. And I think that they feel like safer opening up.
I would hope so. Yeah. That's my goal, is making them feel like I'm not just their attorney. I'm their friend. Consider me as family.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that like the fact that you had experience like a traumatic experience of your own, you know how to pull from that. And It's like, you know what you needed in those moments. And you either show up in that way or you show up where you felt like there might have been gaps, or you show up in just a more authentic way, or you know questions to ask that maybe other attorneys wouldn't.
Yeah. I've always had a more positive mindset. I mean, aside from the car accidents, I've, beat breast cancer before. So there's a type of mindset you have to have.
Yeah.
Again, knowing that this is temporary. We're going to get through this. What does the future look like? Like, I have bucket list goals that I still want to complete. And I tell the same thing to my clients. I'm like, I get it. You're in probably the worst situation that you are in right now in your life. We'll get through it together. Like, what does the future hold? Stay positive. Call me if you want to just chat to vent.
Yeah.
Who is your support system? And the sad part is not a lot of them have that support system, either from coworkers or their friends, or especially from my male clients.
Yeah.
They are taught to be that strong person. We can't go and ask for help. And so I let them know, like, you have to ask for help.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like do you find that clients sometimes are like, well, I just don't want to fixate on like the negative. Like, you do have a positive outlook, and so when it's like, okay, yes, but this is temporary. Like, think about where you're going to be 5 years from now, and like focus on like you are bettering yourself for future you. Do you help kind of like do you feel like you inspire your clients to also kind of have that mindset?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so. I'm very
I
open.
feel like you're inspiring me right now.
I'm very open. I'm probably too open with my clients, with my own personal experiences. And I'm just like, look, like, what do you need from me? Like, you have to stay positive, because if they're in such a negative mindset right now, their life is, some of them are on bed rest for 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And when you don't, like for me, like for my car accident, when I wasn't able to go to the gym and work out and run, like that takes a toll on your mental health, 110%. So I can only imagine what they're going through. They're miserable. And I'm just like, this is temporary. Like, let's look to the future. Like, your health is the most important thing. Like, we're not doing this to win the lottery. Right. We're not doing this for a paycheck. I'm sorry. And I let them know right off the bat. I'm like, you let me know when you're good. Yeah. And you feel like, you've got the treatment that you need, and then we'll talk about together on how we want to resolve your case. But my priority is getting you back to a point where you can play soccer again. You can go to the gym. Yeah. You can take care of your family. So
good. I feel like those conversations are so important. And I don't want to go past this, but you're cancer free. How many months?
16 months, I believe.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And I think you have been through life, a lot of life. And I think the fact that you are still able to and want to show up and advocate for others when you are also have been in a position for so much time of just trying to advocate for yourself also,
Yeah.
and survive each day. Like the fact that you chose to also still show up for other people is incredible.
I remember walking into Kaiser, at 30 years old, and I'm like, hi, I need a mammogram. And they're like, I'm sorry, how old are you? Like, and so again, having to advocate for myself and letting my doctors know, like, this is what I need. This is what my concerns are.
Yeah.
Having my mom just finish her battle with breast cancer, I was like, this needs to happen.
Absolutely.
So now I'm such an advocate for all women. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. Take care of your bodies, check your boobies.
Yeah.
Make sure you get your mammograms every year.
No, absolutely retweet.
Yeah.
And just the fact that like you were even in a position where you had to advocate for yourself or have to like ask to be heard
Yeah.
by someone that's supposed to already be doing that for you.
Yeah.
That's hard. And I also find, and I don't know if you relate to this, but like it's so much easier to advocate for others than myself.
Absolutely. I tell everybody else, I'm like, take care of yourself, take care of your bodies. And then we forget that we also are important too.
Yes, absolutely. What was it like for you, actively going through a tough time, also showing up for other people going through a tough time?
I used work as kind of an escape from my own personal tribulations that I had to go through.
Yeah.
I mean, again, when work, I genuinely love what I do, so it doesn't feel like work. I was working throughout. I didn't have to do chemo, knock on wood, but I had to do radiation. And I was working full-time throughout my radiation as much as I could because that was my escape from me dealing with the cancer. I was like, if I can help my clients, if I can go to a mediation, if I can, get through, settle a couple of cases and make my clients' lives a little bit better and help them move on from this and get some closure, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
So
good for you. That's like, I don't feel like crying. Like, that's just like so inspiring, because like you are literally like choosing to fight for other people and advocate for other people in that time. And I just think that like, that's so admirable. And I just like think is a rarity also.
I know I worked so hard to just get to pass the bar and to get my first job as an attorney. And like, I mean, I think I got diagnosed when I was 2 years in as an attorney. And I was like, this is not going to derail me. It's not going to define me. It's not going to derail me. Like, I still have more purpose in life to live. So again, it's temporary. What am I going to do to get past this? My coworkers at Drake Law were amazing.
That's awesome.
Great support system with my family. And then, just seeing my mom literally go through the same exact thing that I just got diagnosed with. It's scary. It's scary as hell. But I was just like, knock on wood, they caught it early. And, what are we going to do to get past this?
Yeah. And you were a big part in it getting caught early too.
Yeah.
So like also good on you for like listening to your intuition and advocating for yourself, because I think it's amazing.
I think we're all guilty of like how stressful our lives are as attorneys. Okay, we'll go to the doctor. We'll go to the doctor next week, next month. It's in the back of our heads. And I very much tell everybody, I'm like, take care of yourself.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially because it's like, how often do we have clients where they're like, I'm in so much pain, but I don't have time. And it's like, okay, what are your goals?
Yeah.
Do you want to feel better?
Yeah.
How do you think that can happen? And so it's like, why am I not practicing what I'm preaching? When it's like, I just don't have time. Or it's like, sometimes like going to the doctor kind of feels like a second time job. Where it's just like, when you're done with work, don't you kind of just like want to like not do something? But it's like, now I have to do all the things I was putting off. And so just like making yourself a priority and being intentional about it.
I think we're all guilty of not making ourselves a priority at some point in time with our career. We're so focused and passionate about what we do, we forget about ourselves.
Yes. Yes. And I also want to talk about, just because we both majored in the same thing in college, and so I love talking about it, but you were a sociology major.
I was, yeah.
And so I think that like law is really cool because you can literally major in whatever you want before you go to law school. And there are a lot of people that do like pre-law tracks. I was like, well, if I'm going to be an attorney, I want to know how like people work. And so it's like sociology is like the study of interactions and environment and relationships. And do you feel like having majored in sociology helps you be an attorney also?
It helped me understand how to communicate better, I think, with people. I mean, I'm such an open book as it is. And I think if you can relate to somebody, number one, that builds honesty, that builds your credibility, and that just makes it easier for me to work with my client, because it's a two-way street here. Yes, I'm advocating for them with the insurance company, with defense counsel, whatever it is, but like it's a team effort. They've got to want to be just as involved as in their cases as I want them to be. So I think starting off the bat, you know, when I do my welcome to litigation Zoom calls with them.
Yeah.
I explain the entire litigation process. I set their expectations. I'm like, look, your case could resolve tomorrow. It could resolve in 3 years from now at trial. Like, I don't have control of that, but we'll see how it goes. I'm like, trust me with this process. Call me if you have any questions, and we'll get through this together.
Absolutely. Intro to lit Zoom call. That sounds amazing and so smart. I like to have that call in the beginning too, where it's like, let's set expectations.
Yeah.
Because first, if this is your first interaction with an attorney,
Exactly.
I want to know what your expectations are, because if they are ones that I'm never going to meet, I need to tell you that. And then also, if there are expectations I have that maybe you don't feel like you can meet, like, we need to know that so that we're not, you know, like, not meeting each other's expectations if we've never actually communicated what our expectations are.
And then they get to me 2 years down the line, and they're like, what's going on now? Like, what, you know, why didn't my case settle before? And I'm like, okay, well, this is why we're here.
Yeah.
What are we going to do to get it resolved?
Yeah, and I think that's so important. And it's like exactly what you're saying, where like, I need your help being able to advocate for you. I need to know your day to day. I need to know you as a human being so that I can advocate for you. And so, like, just having that kind of open discourse is important. And no, it's not going to always happen right off the bat.
Absolutely.
I mean, sometimes there are people you meet in your life where you're like, oh my God, I think we're going to be best friends. And other times it's like, okay, we get to know each other and it's like, oh wow, like, I really get to like see you as the person. It just takes time to like get to that space. Not everyone shows up in the same way at the same time.
Exactly.
And like, I feel like you are uniquely equipped to be able to like understand that and read that just from like your experience and your background and all of the things. Like, I think that you use as such an incredible like strength.
I try. It's hard at times, but I try.
Seems like you're succeeding. I cannot thank you enough, truly, for taking the time to be here and be just so open and vulnerable with your experience. And I think that like the way that you show up in the human being that you are and how you treat other human beings is really important. And just thank you for the work that you do.
My pleasure.
And thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week. Thank you.